Just a couple more days till we all travel to Burrowhead Stadium, take on the Kansas City Chiefs. But we are here today to celebrate and honor the heroes that work here at the UC Health Center every single day. Let's give a round of applause. You know, I was at the game on January 2nd against the Bills, and it was just a gorgeous day. There was so much energy in the stadium. The Bengals started off really hot with a touchdown, and then holding the Bills to a field goal. We were marching down the field again for our second drive, and then tragedy struck. A freak play resulted in a cardiac arrest on the field. 60,000 people in the stadium. Everyone was frozen. Frozen in place, frozen in fear, frozen in anxiety, but for a handful of heroes who rushed to the field and in front of a live national audience saved Damar Hamlin's life. It's extraordinary. The day in and day out service that these heroes behind me and in front of me provide every single day. And while I can never understand what that feels like or what that takes, that sacrifice, I have a small taste. My wife is a hospitalist. She did her training here in the internal medicine residency program. And so I understand in a small way the sacrifice that you all make. But we all now know how special our trauma center is, how extraordinary the professionals who work here are. And in that moment, Damar Hamlin's life was saved. But it was saved again on the way to the trauma center. It was saved many times while in the trauma center. Damar spent a week here getting 24/7 care from the nurses, the specialists, the surgeons, the doctors, the pharmacists, the anesthetists, all the kinds of tists that work here. And what is even more special is that while Damar Hamlin's case was noteworthy because it was on national television, it was not noteworthy for the care that he got, because every single person, whether you're a professional athlete or someone just off the street, receives the same kind of exceptional, first-in-class care that takes place here at UC. And for all of those reasons, it is my genuine honor to give a key to the city. I think just my fourth key in my short time in office, to the entire team here, the trauma team and all the professionals who work here, who saved Damar Hamlin's life, and most importantly, who keep us safe every single day in our community. So with that, I don't know who I'm giving the key to, because there's so many people behind me. But Doctor, it is a true honor.
Not a doctor, administrator.
Oh, I'm sorry. Administrator. It's a true honor to present on behalf of the city of Cincinnati, on behalf of a grateful city, to you and your team, this key to the city. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Before I let the administrator speak, this is also the week where we kick off trash talking to Kansas City. So we have the #1 trauma center in the country. We also have the #1 team in the country, and we're going to make that very clear on Sunday.
So I just wanted to say thank you, Mayor Aftab. Truly honored to accept this key on behalf of this incredible team here, on behalf of all the extraordinary teams at the UC Medical Center and within our entire health system. As our community's only adult level 1 trauma center, UC Medical Center is uniquely equipped to provide and coordinate the highest level of complex care for our region. UC Medical Center is part of UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health center. At UC Health, we teach the next generation of clinicians and provide patients with the most advanced complex care. We deliver this care through teams comprised of specialty and subspecialty physicians, nurses, and other clinical and non-clinical support staff who are truly the best at what they do. These outstanding teams take pride in providing advanced medical care to every member of our community who needs us every day. So thank you again for recognizing them.
Johnny London, you got any questions?
Well, Mayor, so what was going through your mind when you were at the game, not knowing what was going to occur, how this would?
I was scared. I think it's commonplace now with football for spectators to see the injuries. But when you saw the ambulance come onto the field, when you saw in particular the players' reactions, where some of the toughest people in the world had to look away because what they were seeing was too traumatic. There was a lot of confusion in the stadium as well. In fact, people watching at home probably had more information than those of us in the stadium. We didn't know, we knew it was a Bills player, but we didn't know it was Damar Hamlin. We didn't know what was going on. And what I'm really struck by, of course, we're here to celebrate our UC medical professionals, but I was just so inspired by, in the moment, the 60,000 people's reaction, and then every day after that, the incredible generosity of our city. I mean, we had 60,000 people. One of the biggest games of the year gets canceled right before our eyes, and no one's shouting or angry. They kind of somberly file out of the stadium. Immediately, many Bengals fans went right here to this hospital to pray for Damar and his family. Millions of dollars was raised for Damar's foundation, a lot of which came from Cincinnati. Our local businesses got involved. Cincy Shirts, for example, were selling T-shirts with Damar's number on them. Proceeds were going to the foundation. Prayer vigil after prayer vigil, not to mention the incredible staff here who saved his life. I mean, it's a special responsibility and honor for me to be a mayor of such a generous and welcoming and extraordinary city. And we showed the world why we are such a unique and special place.
Mayor, I have one for you and for hospital administrators as well. Have you seen, and what is the tangible impact of the life-saving work given to Damar Hamlin on both the hospital system as well as on the College of Medicine?
Well, I'll let the administrator speak to UC, but I mean, people now know how talented UC medical staff are. I mean, they saw it in real time, a life being saved right before their eyes. And, Damar's injury and cardiac event is obviously a tragedy, but it could not have happened in a better place, where EMTs were on the scene immediately and he was brought to the best trauma center in the country. I mean, it is not hyperbole to say that the professionals around me today saved his life. And what I get inspired by is almost how routine that is for these professionals around me. How commonplace it is for them to roll up their sleeves in someone's most dire moment, and no matter who's on the table, putting forth the greatest effort possible to save that life. The fact that that happens every day here at UC, and they are the best at it in the country, says it all.
Yeah, and I couldn't have stated it really any better. I think when you talk about the UC family, the College of Medicine, UC Health, UC Physicians Group, UC, I think what this did was highlight what this team behind me, the team that's here, does every single day. And while a couple of people were on TV and had high profile, it truly takes a team. And there are countless people behind the scenes that deliver this kind of care for this community, for this region every day, and it's a blessing to be here.
I neglected to mention my partner, Vice Mayor Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney, is also here. Thank you, Vice Mayor. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. John, you going to the game?
No. So, you wanna take a football question?
Sure. Yeah, great. Happy to.
You said a little bit already, trash talking thing. You're the one at the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Cruz at the game.
Yeah,
You went last year.
I did.
Give us a sense of what's going on in the community right now. We've got this remarkable, and well-deserved celebration for all these professionals. Out of the community with all these fans, they want this so much. You're the #1 elected Bengal fan.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I take that responsibility
What's the
seriously.
community impact of this kind of a cycle?
I mean, it's measurable and immeasurable. I was just reading that I think last year we had something like $3 billion in earned media. Already in this playoff run, the city is seeing millions and millions of dollars in earned media. The attention of the world is really on Cincinnati right now. Last year, I really tried to share with the world the Cincinnati experience and just how incredible we are. I mean, we're home to Procter & Gamble, the biggest consumer products company in the world, Kroger, one of the biggest grocers in the world, GE Aviation. We've got the best public high school in the state, top 3 children's hospital in the world, the best trauma center in the country. I mean, the things that are happening in our city are extraordinary. The momentum that we have, $1.6 billion, the largest federal grant ever given to a city to redo our Brent Spence Bridge. There's so much to be optimistic about. And last year, I was fond of saying, the Bengals aren't just happy to be here on the international stage, we belong here. And they're doing it again. And they personify so much of what makes this city great. They are young, they are diverse, hungry, they've got that Cincinnati swagger. And that's why so many of us believe that this team and this city is headed in the right direction. So, look, we're all hungry for it. I feel like there's some unfinished business from last year with the Super Bowl, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. Kansas City is a tough team, despite my trash talking. Arrowhead Stadium is incredibly loud, but last year it was like Cincinnati West. There were a lot of fans that traveled, and I expect the same this year as well.
Some people go forward, shouting Who Day at the ball game.
Yeah.
I'm one of them, but the mayor of the city, do you get work? Do you shout Who Day?
Yeah, I think people get annoyed with me. So I generally sit in the stands, but I was invited to sit in the box last home game against the Ravens. And I'm trying to hold it together because I'm the mayor. I got to be a serious person. But I'm like in the second half. If you remember, that was a very, very tough game. So I started acting like a fan, and I don't think I'll be invited back to that. I was like pounding on the glass. I embarrassed my wife.
Mayor, are you satisfied with the wager that Mayor Lucas fulfilled last year, or do you have another one for Kansas City this year?
These mayor's bets are getting a little stale, right? I don't know about this food stuff. Kansas City is known for their barbecue and not much else. But I'm trying to think of some creative ideas. So we'll see. We'll see. If there's not a good idea that comes up, we may not do a bet. We are planning on doing a community service event on Saturday in Kansas City. So more details on that to come. All right. Well, thank you. Congratulations again to UC Medical Center.